The final supermoon of 2024. Time to root yourself in stability and abundance. Hello, beautiful people. Life can be a challenge, but at least we have each other. Yes, the final supermoon of 2024, the full moon in Taurus energy, begins on November 15th. So in the first part of this video, I'm going to go over the 3 things everyone should know about this full moon. Then I will go over how it will affect your individual sign. Okay, no more wasting time. Let's go. The supermoon in Taurus takes place on Friday, November 15th at 9:26 p.m. Universal Time, which will be 1:28 p.m. Pacific Time, 4:28 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and for those of you in the Southern Hemisphere, this will be at 8:26 a.m. on Saturday, November 16th in Sydney, Australia, and 11:26 p.m. on Friday, November 15th in Johannesburg, South Africa. So let's jump right into the 3 things you need to know in order to make the most of this energetic opening. Number 1, this full moon will bring the powerful energy of the number 6, the number 7, and the magical tarot energy of the Hierophant card. Because the full moon takes place on the 15th, it brings the opportunity to harness the power of the number 6, which in numerology represents love, responsibility, compassion, and service to others. So if you live where the full moon takes place on the 15th, or if you are seeing the number 6 often, or numbers that add up to 6, this is a message to you that the more you share, the more you expand your capacity to manifest and receive. It also brings the message that the more you prioritize self-care, empathy for others, and accountability for yourself and your life, the more you will experience fulfillment. And for those of you that live where the full moon will be taking place on the 16th, or if you are seeing the number 7 often, you can harness the power of the number 7, which represents introspection, spirituality, and inner wisdom, bringing the message that it is so important to check in with yourself to bring awareness to whether or not you are honoring your true purpose. And if you don't know what your true purpose is, that's okay. But you can definitely find out or get closer to that answer by asking yourself when you're making decisions and taking action, does this feel right? Does this inspire me? Are these actions something that I can be proud of? And do these actions have a positive impact on myself and also others? The answers to these questions will help you to recognize if you are on the path of your purpose, even if you don't know exactly what that purpose is. And don't be worried, like I said, if you don't, because a lot of people don't. And that's okay, because sometimes our mind doesn't realize what our soul actually knows. And the Hierophant card represents tradition, wisdom, and the guidance of spiritual teachings. It reminds you of the importance of faith, mentorship, and a deep-rooted understanding of your spiritual path. So this full moon is a time where you are meant to be practical in your quest for information. Explore the teachings and values that shape your beliefs and establish if these beliefs are working for you. And if not, it may be time to dig a little deeper to uncover teachings and information that will lead to deeper understandings and fulfillment. Basically, always be on the quest to learn more and do not just take things at face value or believe information because it feels good or sounds good. Research, get information, and test that information and see if the results line up. Number 2, this full moon in Taurus will be forming a positive aspect with Venus in Capricorn, a positive aspect with Saturn in Pisces, and an intensifying aspect with Uranus retrograde in Taurus. The moon's relationship with Venus, the planet of love and money, will lend to love, tenderness, and harmony in your life. It is the perfect time to deepen your connections. It's the perfect time for dating with a high likelihood of making a meaningful connection. And it's the perfect time for either asking for a favor or a loan even with a high likelihood of success. And it's also the perfect time to do a favor for someone else or to offer them some help financially if that's what they need or if you're in a place to do so. All of which can result in expansion of your manifesting capacity. Because remember, the more we give, the more we are going to receive. And the moon's relationship with Saturn, the planet of responsibility and life lessons, which will be going direct on the same day, will bring stability and strength to your inner being and your life situation. This indicates a time where you finally get to start reaping the benefits and rewards from all of the challenges that you may have been going through lately because of that Saturn retrograde energy. So be ready for the tides of fortune to start changing in your favor, especially if you have natal Saturn or a rising sign in Taurus, Capricorn, Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces. And the moon's relationship with Uranus, the planet of awakenings and change that will be retrograde, will lend to subconscious impulsiveness. So it will be very important to think before you act. Even if you feel like your intuition is telling you something, make sure that you think things through first, meaning honor your instinct but get as much provable information as possible before making any decisions, especially any major decisions. These planetary alignments are favorable, but it is important to not derail anything by just acting impulsively. This doesn't mean overanalyze though. And remember, overanalyzing is spinning on speculation, not dealing with the facts. It's when you are creating a narrative and scenarios in your head based on a feeling and thinking you know what something means based on what it looks like or feels like. Get the facts and see if they support your instincts and then go. Number 3, the full moon in Taurus is the final supermoon of 2024, offering a powerful opportunity to harmonize the material and spiritual worlds. Under the grounded influence of the Taurus moon, you are encouraged to pause, breathe, and truly connect with the reality of your life situation, your values, your relationships, and the physical comforts that provide stability. Meanwhile, the Scorpio sun's transformative energy works beneath the surface, inviting you to release emotional patterns that you know no longer serve you. Together, the Taurus moon and the Scorpio sun create a rare alignment, bridging the physical and spiritual realms. This is a time to embrace the idea that true fulfillment only takes place when you allow your path forward to be grounded in your desires, but also deeply aligned with your higher purpose. Now let's find out what this supermoon means for your individual sign. Okay, my powerful Aries, this full moon energy is going to be in your second house. So for the days leading up to and for the 2 weeks following the full moon, do not be surprised, Aries, if you start focusing more on your present financial situation, along with thinking more about your future. Now, rather than allowing yourself to get stressed out about this or begin to go down the what if road of fear, use this as a time to assess whether or not you are doing the things on a consistent basis that reflect the habits, the thought processes, and behavior patterns that lead to long-term financial security and abundance. And I know sometimes it can be very difficult to maintain an optimistic perspective with the state of the world right now. However, that still does not take away the fact that if you do maintain these consistent habits, you will give yourself the highest probability of success, as opposed to just giving up or focusing on how things are against you. Remember, there is always a way, and when you keep that optimistic perspective and you know it's possible, you will manifest a life where you can start to really attract abundance, because like I said, there's always a way. You are extremely capable, Aries, of producing positive results in a short amount of time, but you tend to get distracted when you don't get the results that you want, and you also tend to allow frustration to override your certainty that things will work out. So the best way for you to make the most of this full moon energy is to look at how it is that you treat yourself. Meaning, do you treat yourself in a way that someone who truly values themselves would? Do you make sure that your relationships are balanced? Do you set healthy boundaries and stick to them? Do you treat your physical health and mental health as a priority by doing the things that you know are best for you? The reason why these questions will be so helpful is because when it comes to financial abundance and wealth, even though things can be crazy and intense in the world around us, the universe will reflect back to you on the outside in the material world what is going on within you. So if you see yourself as worthy and you treat yourself accordingly, the universe will reflect that back to you with abundance. However, if you need to learn self-love, or if you need to elevate the level at which you value yourself and the way that you treat yourself, that will be reflected back to you by blockages or a limited flow of abundance. So use this full moon as a time to improve the relationship that you have with yourself, and you will see the results of this when it comes to your relationship with abundance. Also, take a look at how you view money or people that have money. And if you find that you have a judgmental view or a negative view, recognize that by restructuring this view, you will also be increasing your ability to manifest. So Aries, this full moon can be a very exciting shift for you, where you come out on the other side of this energy, expanding your capacity for abundance, which is very exciting. So embrace this energetic opening, and happy full moon, Aries. Okay, my powerful Taurus, this full moon energy is going to be in your first house. So Taurus, in the midst of Scorpio season, which I know can be a very challenging time for you, this supermoon is bringing a strong burst of Taurus energy. So do not be surprised if you feel a strong surge of emotion in the few days leading up to the full moon, during the full moon, and even for the 2 weeks following the full moon. This emotion is likely to be accompanied by thoughts like, what am I doing with my life? Am I where I should be? Or am I not where I thought I would be by this point in my life? Or why are things working out for this person or that person and not for me, etc.? Now, let me first start by telling you all of those thoughts, all of those questions are a complete waste of your time. This full moon is here to remind you that comparing your soul's path to anyone else's is counterproductive and can drain your energy and lower your frequency. So the moment you feel a surge of emotion, or the moment that you feel your thoughts going to a place like this, take a deep breath and say to yourself, I accept with gratitude the exact place that I am in my life right now. If there are areas of my life where I feel lack, I'm excited and willing to give energy to transforming those areas of my life, and I will do so while maintaining the certainty that my vision will be realized, and I will trust the process by not trying to force a timeline on the process. The beauty about the sun in Scorpio is it will assist you in terms of connecting to a deeper part of who you are, that does know that everything is going to be okay, that does know things can change for the better from one day to the next, and that does have confidence in who you are, and that part of you that knows you are worthy of manifesting exactly what you want into reality. But like everyone else, we all at times can undermine this process with thoughts of fear or doubt or frustration. So don't be hard on yourself, Taurus, for not being where you thought you would be, and absolutely do not feed into any narrative that does not support what it is you envision for yourself. This is the time to let go of those habits, Taurus. Scorpio season for all signs, but especially for you, is a time where if you make a commitment to something, it will be sure to stick. So commit to hitting the reset button. Reignite your excitement for the future, your appreciation for the present, and embrace your worthiness and capability, and know that as you turn this page and begin this next chapter, things will begin to shift in your favor. So embrace this energetic opening, and happy full moon, Taurus. Okay, my powerful Geminis, this full moon energy is going to be in your 12th house. So Gemini, this is going to be an insightful time of clarity for you. Not only is the Scorpio sun an energy that opens up a strong connection to your internal voice, but this supermoon being in your 12th house brings a very unique opening to your subconscious programming and your psychic vibration. If there's any question that you have about your life situation in terms of what direction you should be going in next, or what direction you should be going in right now, or what you could do differently in order to make sure you are optimizing your power, or even if there's something that you feel like is being hidden from you and you want that revealed, this is the time that sort of information, that information that you seek, can come to the surface. Don't be surprised if you feel less social or even less physically energetic during this time. Just know that this is your body's way of telling you that it is time to slow down a bit, take a break from the mental noise of the day-to-day chaos, and spend some quiet time alone. This alone time will not only give you a chance to recharge, but it will also bring you the opportunity to get the messages that the universe is attempting to send your way through signs or through dreams or through seeing certain numbers. This would be the perfect time to get a reading, Gemini, or to have a meeting with a spiritual advisor, or to have a therapy session. It's a great time for journaling, for meditation, for prayer. This is your time to disconnect from the physical and deeply connect with the spiritual realm. So that way, as you return back to your usual day-to-day schedule, you are doing so in a way that is leading more from your higher self, which will then ensure that what you do manifest as you move forward and the choices that you do make as you move forward are rooted in and connected to your soul's purpose and in your soul's best interest. So overall, Gemini, see this full moon energy as a time of spiritual growth and enlightenment and an opportunity to do some healing. This is the strongest full moon in terms of reprogramming your subconscious. So if there are any habits that you want to break or belief systems that you want to restructure, now is the time to do so. Because remember, Sagittarius is your polar opposite sign, and even though great things can happen for you during Sagittarius season, it can also be a difficult time because of the effect that it's going to have on the Gemini energy in your chart. So use this full moon to bring you the clarity, the information, and the insight necessary to make sure that you can step into this next season with a strong momentum of confidence, a strong momentum of peace and excitement. So embrace this energetic opening, and happy full moon, Gemini. Okay, my powerful Cancerians, this full moon energy is going to be in your 11th house. So Cancers, this is yet another reason for you to be excited about Scorpio season, because the energy of this full moon in Taurus is going to be very instrumental in assisting you when it comes to bringing the dreams that you have for yourself into reality. This is because the full moon taking place in your 11th house brings two major things. One, if there's a goal that you've been working towards for a while, the full moon marks a time where you can really find a major point of momentum taking place. If it is a smaller short-term goal like losing 5 pounds or gaining 5 pounds or starting a new habit or stopping a bad habit, this can mark the achievement of that goal. But if you have been working on a much bigger goal like making $1 billion, it's not likely that the $1 billion is going to fall into your lap the day of the full moon, but it is likely that you will see that a major money-making opportunity could finalize or come through. Or you may have a big idea that will lead to abundance. So when it comes to achieving your goals, Cancers, just know that this full moon is definitely on your side. And because it is taking place during Scorpio season, this could also mean that deep insight into how you achieve your goals more effectively could also be what comes to the surface for you. Now, the 11th house also relates to friends and social groups. So this could be a time where you gain some clarity on a friendship in terms of deepening the connection or in terms of recognizing that the relationship has run its course. But either way, this will be beneficial to your development moving forward. This also indicates that networking will be very beneficial for you during this time because someone that you meet or connect with or a connection you make is likely to play a major role in connecting you to someone, or they could actually be that someone that can be very helpful to you moving forward. So Cancers, if you get invited to any parties during this time, go. Even if you don't feel like going, go, because you may find that the experience can mark a major turning point in your life. Now, don't get me wrong. If this invite is a party that you know for a very good reason you do not want to go to, then don't go. Honor that truth, because I'm just saying if it's one of those situations where you're invited and you're just like, ugh, I don't feel like going, and you don't really have a good reason other than I don't feel like going, those are the ones you should go to. If it's a party that you know you should not be going to and you know the exact reason why, don't go. Just wanted to make sure that was said so that way you're not questioning something that you absolutely know is right or wrong for you. So overall, Cancers, this full moon is a very positive energy for you, which is very exciting. So embrace this energetic opening and happy full moon, Cancers. Okay, my powerful Leos, this full moon energy is going to be in your 10th house. So Leos, if you are a content creator as a profession, or if you just post whenever you feel like it, but you have recently decided that you have the motivation to gain more followers or to expand your online presence in some way, this full moon energy is a very positive energy in terms of bringing a wave of momentum in this area of your life, because this energy of the full moon has a very positive impact on the way that you are perceived by the public. So if you make it a point to give energy to growing your following for the period leading up to, during, and for the 2 weeks following the full moon, the likelihood of seeing positive results is looking good for you. It is also likely that if you've been looking for a new line of work or trying to decide what type of work you would be happiest doing, this full moon will bring you the clarity that you are looking for. Remember, Scorpio season is a time about getting to the truth, sometimes the painful truth, and this full moon in Taurus will blend that inner truth with the reality of the material world. So this full moon is very likely to bring some harsh doses of reality regarding your life situation. And for you, Leo, this will be relative to your professional world. Now, this could also be bringing very good news for you. You could get a raise or be offered a promotion. On the flip side, it could also mean that the ending of a job might be coming your way. But either way, there's likely to be a major shift when it comes to your world of work and even finances. And what I mean by that is this is going to be a time where creating and sticking to a plan in terms of how much money you want to make is going to be very effective for you, Leo. So make sure that you give energy to that. So overall, Leos, this is going to be a very exciting shift in momentum for you, and it will be a momentum shift for the better. But be prepared for the shift to feel a little intense and maybe scary, but rest assured that you will find your way. And within that discovery, within that process of finding your way, you're going to be growing as an individual and improving your ability to manifest the life that you have envisioned for yourself, which is very exciting. So embrace this energetic opening and happy full moon, Leos. Okay, my powerful Virgos, this full moon energy is going to be in your 9th house. So Virgos, finally, a full moon energy that will be bringing you a wave of excitement. Now, this full moon may be emotional for you because it is in Taurus, and the fact that Taurus is an earth sign, and this is a full moon, and the moon relates to your emotional disposition, this may bring a wave of intense emotions. But with those intense emotions will be a deep-rooted feeling of understanding and clarity. So this truly will mark a major shift for you, where on the other side of this shift is expansion, excitement, more confidence, and a perspective that will start to inspire different choices, which will bring about different results and a shift in your reality and life situation. So do not be surprised if during this time leading up to, during, and even for the 2 weeks following the full moon, don't be surprised if you have an experience or a conversation or a reading or just circumstances that hit you differently, Virgo. Circumstances that really begin to put new pieces of your life's puzzle into place, creating a picture that brings you optimism and a deeper understanding of who you are at this point in your life. Also of who you have been in the past and who you can potentially be. Scorpio season is a time of revealed truth, and Taurus is the sign of the material world. So this is a unique blend of a spiritual awakening relative to your physical life, which is extremely exciting, Virgo. Now, the ninth house energy also brings a wave of fun and new experiences. So this could also just mark a time of meeting someone new from a different background than you, or you trying something new that you have never tried before. And if you travel during this time, this just increases the likelihood of this type of experience for you. So if you have the time to travel, absolutely make sure to do it, because the result could be life-changing. So overall, Virgo, this is going to be a time of major realization, a time of seeing the world from a new perspective, and this will be a perspective that empowers you and that gives you more confidence, and a perspective that will make you even more capable of manifesting the life that you envision for yourself. The only job that you have during this full moon, Virgo, is remain open, remain willing to look at yourself objectively, and be ready to have waves of emotion that will need release and that will result in healing. A very exciting full moon for you, Virgo, so embrace this energetic opening and happy full moon. Okay, my powerful Libras, this full moon energy is going to be in your 8th house. So Libra, the time has come for some serious clarity, and what I mean by this is the Scorpio sun brings openings to deep truths, and this full moon in Taurus brings clarity regarding the physical world, regarding your life situation, and the part that you play in the life that you create and the experiences that you have. And the 8th house is the house of death and rebirth. So this is truly a time where you can allow certain things to pass in order for a new you to be born, meaning you know the things that you do that undermine your success. For Libra energy, one of the biggest challenges, whether it be you having a Libra rising or Libra sun sign or Libra moon, the biggest challenge of having Libra energy in your chart is you live much of your life in your mind, meaning your thoughts can be your worst enemy, playing out what-if scenarios, playing out worst-case scenarios, creating narratives from a hunch or a feeling. All of these habits, when it comes to thought, that can result in more stress, more anxiety, fear, sadness, and even demotivation. So Libra, the good news is recognizing this and having the desire to change it is all you need in order to take the first step to freedom from the mental noise. And the even better news is making a change of a bad habit during Scorpio season and during an 8th house transit gives you the highest probability of sticking to that change in terms of you being successful in your goal to make that habit a thing of the past. Now, this full moon will also bring a deeper desire for you to find more meaning in your life, Libra, which can be a really good thing, because this basically will serve to motivate you to take action when it comes to setting goals for yourself and when it comes to having the energy to pursue those goals with excitement and confidence, which is a formula for success. Now, this full moon may also bring about a situation where a necessary conversation about finances might need to take place. This could be regarding a joint investment or money that you owe someone or that they owe you, or you may need to tie up loose ends when it comes to some sort of inheritance. So overall, Libra, this full moon is likely to bring about an exciting new perspective for you, resulting in new choices and changes and a positive momentum as you move forward. So embrace this energetic opening and happy full moon, Libra. Okay, my powerful Scorpios, this full moon energy is going to be in your 7th house. So Scorpio, this one is likely to be emotional for you and likely to be pretty intense in terms of certain circumstances coming up where you will do really well if you address certain relationship issues that have been lingering but haven't been dealt with. Now, this can be with a significant other, or it can be the relationship with yourself even, and it can also be a non-romantic relationship, like a relationship with a family member or friend, but it will be someone that you have a deep-rooted connection with. And make sure to be aware that this full moon is likely to put you in in an irritable mood to start with. So if you do have someone in your life that you have a lingering issue with, this issue is likely to amplify because your patience for their behavior is going to be very limited. Now, I know that this will be happening during your season, which may make your reactions to them even more immediate, because you may find that during a time where you are meant to be focusing on yourself, your rebirth, and new energy and new opportunities, here you are having to deal with some sort of conflict. So let me offer you this, Scorpio. This is actually a really great thing, because the reason this will be coming up for you is so you can resolve the situation once and for all. This is your rebirth season, and as you begin a new chapter, you do not want to take any unresolved energy with you that will slow down your momentum, or even worse, lead to repeating old behaviors. So be excited to address the situation once and for all, and as long as you do focus on resolution, then no matter what the result, you will know that you did your part. Now, if you don't have any lingering issues with the relationship, fantastic and congratulations, because most of us do. Now, this full moon in your 7th house may just mean a deepening of a connection that you already have with someone, or if you've been looking to manifest love, this may mark the time where you either meet someone new or you take a connection that you have from the friend zone type of relationship or the situationship zone into a more defined relationship. So overall, Scorpios, this is gonna be an exciting full moon for you, because you will have the opportunity to get some clarity, some resolution, or new energy when it comes to your world of relationships and or romance, which is always exciting. Remember, your job is just to be aware that you might be feeling a little more emotional or a little more reactive than usual. So that way, by being aware of those things, that way you approach any scenario that comes up with a more balanced perspective, which will lead to more balanced and more beneficial outcomes. So embrace this energetic opening, and happy full moon, Scorpio. Okay, my powerful Sagittarians, this full moon energy is going to be in your 6th house. So Sagittarius, be ready to be a bit irritated. And I don't mean that something bad is going to happen, but what I do mean is that you are the type of personality that does not like to waste your time. You aren't very patient, especially when you feel like things can be getting done more efficiently than they currently are and moving at a faster pace. And this will be the situation with you when it comes to your job or something related to your professional world. So don't be surprised if you find yourself feeling a bit frustrated with a work-related situation. Now, rather than giving into that frustration, instead think solutions, which you naturally do. So yes, do you think solutions, but also recognize when you are facing a situation where there isn't anything that you can do about that situation right at that moment. In addition to accepting it, which is going to be a great first step, redirect your focus. And the good news about all of this is that the 6th house energy is perfect for cleaning out clutter, organizing things, and creating a more streamlined environment for yourself. So redirecting your focus to something that you can directly affect will work wonders for your mood and for your motivation. Keep that in mind as this full moon approaches, during the full moon, and even for the 2 weeks following the full moon. When a wave of frustration comes up, especially when it comes up regarding something that is related to your professional life, take a deep breath and ask yourself, is there anything that I can do about this situation in this moment? If the answer is yes, fantastic, take action. If the answer is no, it is time to redirect and give energy to something productive. Now, the 6th house and this full moon energy also brings a hit of reality when it comes to your health. And this isn't anything to be worried about, but this is the time, especially with the sun being in Scorpio, that you will benefit greatly from tending to your health, getting any necessary tests or checkups, taking inventory of your behaviors to bring awareness to whether or not you are taking care of yourself mentally, physically, and spiritually. So overall, Sagittarius, look at this full moon as a time to reboot, to reorganize, and restructure your daily routines, especially after all this drama that is going on in the world right now. And restructure your personal environment so that way you can have a clear energetic path and foundation as we quickly approach your season, which is going to be very exciting for you. So embrace this energetic opening, and happy full moon, Sagittarius. Okay, my powerful Capricorns, this full moon energy is going to be in your 5th house. So Capricorns, This full moon is going to be a bit emotional for you, but in a very positive way. There will be a wave of emotion, especially leading up to and during the full moon. And for the 2 weeks after the full moon, you will be feeling more optimistic and riding the wave of positivity and clarity that this full moon is likely to bring your way. Now, the reason I say this full moon will be emotional for you is because Taurus is an earth sign and the full moon does influence our emotions. So this energy will have a strong emotional effect on you. The good news is these emotions are likely to be feelings of happiness, feelings of healing, release, and just overall ending with peace. And with everything going on in the world right now, I'm sure you are feeling a bit exhausted, and this full moon will bring that energy of understanding and resolution that will bring a more peaceful disposition. Now, the 5th house also brings a wave of romantic potential, Capricorn. So if you have been putting energy towards manifesting a relationship, the likelihood of you meeting someone new during this time does increase, which is very exciting. Also, if you are already in a relationship or marriage and the two of you have been trying to have kids, the probability of conceiving does increase with this full moon, which is also very exciting. You also get a wave of creativity with this full moon, so don't sleep on any ideas that you have. Instead, put them into action, Capricorn. This is a time of momentum for you, so ride that momentum, especially before we get into Sagittarius season, because that won't be a negative time for you by any means, but it will be a time of rebooting your energy. So make sure to capitalize on this flow of energy that is taking place now. This way you can make some major headway, because remember, the Scorpio sun is in your 11th house, which is also working in your favor. Now, as I said before, this full moon may be emotional for you, and this is also because the 5th house can connect you to your inner child, and this may be the catalyst for the healing that I was talking about earlier. So you may have an experience that leads to realizations and understandings of why you may behave the way that you do in certain circumstances. It also may lead to you having a new understanding of what you truly want out of life now and moving forward. So overall, Capricorns, this is going to be nothing but positive for you. Even if you feel emotional, you still will be feeling lighter and more confident, and like you have a stronger sense of security and certainty moving forward, which I am sure will be welcomed. So embrace this energetic opening, and happy full moon, Capricorn. Okay, my powerful Aquarians, this full moon energy is going to be in your 4th house. So Aquarius, being that this is Scorpio season, more than likely things have been a bit challenging for you, and this full moon is actually bringing an energy and opportunity for you to make sense of it all, so that way you can turn the page on the stress or uncertainty and replace that energy with understanding and optimism. By this I mean that this full moon in Taurus may bring a wave of emotion, and when it does, take that as a sign that it is okay for you to take a break from the mental noise of the outside world and allow yourself to spend some time alone, not spinning on your thoughts, but making the commitment to ask yourself what it is that you want out of the remainder of this year, and what it is you would like to begin to plan for and see happen for yourself in 2025. And do your best not to factor in all of the reasons why you can't think of what you want because of outside circumstances and how they could be working against you. Instead of that, really give yourself the opportunity to think of what you would want if things lined up for you and if things were working in your favor. Then begin to think of the first step you can take towards these goals. In addition to that, allow yourself the freedom to not determine when you're gonna have to take that first step. And instead, write down those desires, write down that first step, put those ideas in a safe space, but somewhere that you can revisit them soon, and then take some time to think about your foundation and ask yourself, does it need a bit of decluttering and cleansing? This applies to your living space and your inner home. When I say your inner home, the way to declutter that is to ask yourself, are there any negative emotions or negative experiences or people or fears that you are holding on to that you know you would be much better off by letting them go? You know, I always say on my channel, take the lessons with you in life, but let go of the resentment, anger, sadness, and pain. Take a deep breath, knowing that you are stronger for those experiences, and because you now have more information, because these lessons have now joined your consciousness, and then keep life moving and let those things go. Move forward with optimism and now carrying no weight from the past. So overall, Aquarius, this full moon is going to be a reboot phase for you, a time to take a moment, take some personal inventory, a time to do some healing and cleansing and resolving of unresolved issues, and a time for you to make any necessary adjustments to your living space and then step out of this full moon energy feeling renewed and ready to start a steady and strong momentum for the remainder of Scorpio season and into Sagittarius season, where you can begin that first step that you determined for yourself was the best way to begin realizing the life that you have envisioned for yourself, which is very exciting. So embrace this energetic opening and happy full moon Aquarius. Okay, my powerful Pisces, this full moon energy is going to be in your third house. So get ready, Pisces, because your thoughts will be racing during this time. Life might feel a little chaotic, and it might feel like even in the midst of the chaos, you are not making any headway. And if this full moon in Taurus does begin to bring on this type of energy and this type of feeling, see it as an opportunity to do what I call trimming the fat. And you do this by prioritizing. First, recognize that this feeling of chaos and a bit of uncertainty is good because it gives you an opportunity to ask yourself, okay, what matters most to me right now? What is my top priority? This way you can begin to give your energy to the things that matter most. It will also be important to recognize what things matter least, and then discover how good it's gonna feel to let those things go. In the midst of that, it will be important to see what remains on your plate and then use your gift of communication to begin asking for the assistance that you may need in terms of resolving any of these issues. This is a time of organizing your life situation, Pisces, a time of making sure that you are focusing your energy on the right things and that you are having the right frame of mind while you are focusing on these things. Now, you may have a situation or a few situations that come up where the result of those interactions and circumstances will be contingent on how directly and clearly you communicate. And what I mean by this is during this time, it will be important when communicating with someone to take any unnecessary manipulation tactics off the table and just be direct and just be honest. If any conflicts arise, stick to solutions and don't waste any time point proving. The thing is, Pisces, this is the perfect time for you to streamline your happiness. Do not waste any energy on people or circumstances that are not in alignment with what you know is best for you. And you will recognize that the more you begin to do this, not only are you going to feel so much better because you will instantly have less drama in your life and less to tend to, but you will also start to feel more optimistic and confident about yourself and where your life is going. So overall, Pisces, this super moon in Taurus is definitely a good energy for you. And how good will be a direct reflection of how much time and energy you are giving to honestly loving yourself by prioritizing the things in your life that are in your soul's best interest while being honest to yourself and communicating your needs and desires to the people in your life that matter, while creating healthy boundaries along the way, so that way the people that are in your life that are not on your priority list will not be causing any unnecessary stress in your life. So an exciting time of turning the page, refining your life situation, and creating a good momentum as we move forward throughout the remainder of Scorpio season and begin to step into Sagittarius season. So embrace this energetic opening and happy super moon Pisces. Okay, so there you have it. The top 3 things you need to know about this super moon in Taurus, along with some insight into how your sign can make the most of this full moon energy. I hope you all enjoyed the information. If you did, please don't forget the baby tap. If you haven't subscribed, please consider doing so. Thank you so much for taking the time to come and hang out with me. I love you guys, and I will see you in the next video.